Yo, it's Dukki boy back with another Ghetto Plethora of sorts. Speak my mind, thoughts, opinions, views, and perceptions on reality and things of that nature. The main thing that comes to mind right now is the futility of shortcuts. I remember, people my age, and I'm sure people even a little younger, we used to have to remember things like phone numbers, addresses, little things of that nature. We used to have to exercise our memory, use our brain basically to remember that. We didn't have shortcuts. We didn't have highly advanced technological devices to pull up and display the info for us. We used to have to go in our brain and find the info. And now I see that we don't do that anymore. There's so many shortcuts that we use, so many devices, different ways, different mechanisms, different things we use to pull up the same information that we used to have to store in our brain. That our attention spans and levels of concentration have been minimalized as humans in general, in my opinion, especially in Western civilization, which I'm a part of, so I can speak on that which I am a part of. I mean, it seems as if there's no need to memorize certain things. So in turn, the capacity which we once held for memory-based knowledge is just like empty space, which we fill with tidbits of foolishness. Every day we clicking through 2,000 channels, scrolling through 800 pics. Everybody got a million apps. Everybody know a whole lot about nothing. Everybody a jack of all trades, but a master of nothingness. Everybody got a whole lot to say about everything, but it adds up to a whole lot to say about nothing. No one is taking the time to do proper research anymore. College students, do you study as hard as you probably should? Or do you find yourself copying and pasting? Seems like there's ways around everything nowadays, shortcuts. And if that's what works for you, then that's what works for you. It's the way the society's become. You get your little starter kit, you good. I believe you could get a lawyer starter kit, There's 1,000,001 different colleges online right now. I'm sure you could come up on a law degree somewhere and go practice somewhere. Now, granted, you're going to have to put some work in. But will you be as efficient as the individual who actually studies and really uses their brain to dig deep into that profession, to really dig deep into the depths of understanding what practicing law is really about, who dedicates their time and effort to it continuously? No. You won't be as good as that person. To be honest, I don't think anyone under the age of 25 even knows how to read a map. Not only maps, right? We used to study music before you were able to download 40 albums in a 24-hour span. You had to have the money, the time. You had to wait to hear something new from your favorite artist, which led you to cherish the music a little more. It meant that much more to you. You would memorize the words, you would study it. So that kind of created a divide between great music versus, mediocre music. There wasn't a plethora of music to consume all at once. You had to be selective. Not only music, with shopping, with the clothes you were able to buy, you wasn't necessarily, you weren't necessarily able to order this and that without actually coming in contact with the fabric thereof. You had to actually be selective, find something suitable for you. You cherish things more. And so it's not a good versus evil conversation I'm having with you guys. It's more of a compare and contrast. The availability of information and resources these days is so widespread, so easily accessible, that I kind of believe what happens is we don't take our time to be selective about what we grabbing, what we using, what we latching on to. Be it the shiny things, the most popular things, or just the most accessible things, persons or places. Yet time and time again, it's been proven that you have to do what's best for you. Not what looks best in the eyes of the public or what public opinion usually goes for. You got to do what's best for you. You got to make it make sense. So the moral of the story is be more selective. Take your time. Learn to take the road less traveled. Pay attention. Stop following the wave. Stop following the crowd. Everybody playing and fantasizing about being somebody they not because it's so easy to act like it. You don't have to take your time and really cultivate yourself anymore in order to project a particular image. You could just latch on to something and say, okay, I'm a part of this because everything is so accessible. But are you really a part of it? Are you just caught up in American consumerism? Capitalism at its finest? Are you just a puppet in a bigger game? Or do you stand up for yourself and be who you were uniquely designed and destined to be? Questions. Take your time, slow it down, alleviate the shortcuts.